Welcome to the Valhalla Filmcast. I'm Cody Ririe, and we are here to review the Lego Batman movie, which we saw last night. But I say we because I am here with Elizabeth Ririe, no relation. Just kidding. She's my wife. We're here to do a husband and wife review of this one and see how this goes. I think it should be fun. Quick shout out to the Roxy Theater in St. Anthony that made this screening possible by having cheap enough tickets that we could afford to go. And if you're thinking about driving up to the Roxy, children 4 and under are absolutely free, which we didn't know last night. So $5 for adults and people over 4. You can't beat it. Brand new movies, free for 4 and under. So there you go. There's our plug. Anyway, Lego Batman movie. Why don't you start us off? Lizzie, what did you think?
Okay, so at first I thought the beginning of the movie was kind of shallow. I was a little worried because I was like, this isn't about anything. But then as we kept watching, it got to be more and more about something, and I thought it was actually ended up being pretty deep and pretty thoughtful, and it just did some interesting things.
Okay. So I guess I feel like the title gives you the synopsis you need. It's a Batman movie in Legos. So I don't know if we need to give more of a synopsis than that. And there are some plot spoilers we could give away, which we won't. This is spoiler free. But as far as age group, what age group do you think this appeals to, would you say?
Well, because it's in Legos, you would think it more appeals to children. And I think it does.
We took our little girl, and she's 4.
Yeah.
And she seemed pretty occupied the whole time and said she liked it when it was over. So
she liked it. She said it was a little scary.
Yeah.
We didn't think it was scary, but for a little kid, it could be a tiny bit scary. But yeah, no, I think it can appeal to older people too, though, because it does say deep things. So
I think the interesting thing, we'll talk about that in general, because I don't want to give it away, but the thing that I liked so much about the movie, and we both liked it. I don't know if I liked it more than you, or I'm a huge Batman nut. And the thing that I loved most about it is there are so many allusions and jokes about the history of Batman in the movie. So the more of the Batman films that you've seen, the more jokes you will get. For example, if you've seen the 1966 Batman, there's a whole thing about bat shark repellent, which is a joke about the 1966 movie. So I noticed some people in the theater were like not laughing at all at that, and I thought it was really funny because I knew the background. So, the more you've seen, the more you'll enjoy it. And they have references to the Christopher Nolan Batmans, to the Batman versus Superman, the most recent one, the Tim Burton ones, all of it. And so it's a very illiterate movie about Batman. But the thing I liked most about it is because it is a Lego movie, and it doesn't have to be all super adult and serious or whatever, they take the character of Batman, and he is very much Batman. His parents have been killed, and he's alone, and he's afraid of relationships because of that. And so they take things that really are about the character, but they're free to do something with it. They're free to actually give him a resolution to that. I don't want to ruin it, but when in another movie, he has to stay dark and brooding and unhappy because he's adult, serious Batman. But in this, you can actually have kind of a resolution to that and actually an arc and a story. And for what it is, like I said, a Lego movie, it did feel like it actually had something to say, like you were mentioning earlier. So that's what I liked most about it, is it felt like a Batman movie, but it also felt like it was free of the shackles that we've put on kind of the adult Batman movies recently. Not to say I don't like those, I do like those. But yeah, it was a really good time. The whole theater was laughing pretty much the entire time. One thing I will describe as kind of a negative, because I'm an old fogey, is at a certain point it comes so fast and it comes so furious, and there's 8 jokes a minute and 5 action scene things and stuff going on. By the end, I was tired. Like, it's just overstimulation. And it's only like an hour and 40 minutes long. It's not an overlong movie, but man, do they throw a lot at you throughout the movie. There was this tendency where I thought I just wanted them to stop for a second, just so I could catch my breath, But that didn't seem to be a problem for the kids. That actually should help the kid audience. Anyway, for me, if I'm going to give it a letter grade, I really liked it. I'd say an A. Maybe not like an A+, best ever, but I give it a solid A. If you're going to give it a letter grade, what would you say, Lizzie? Be honest.
A-, I guess.
So you liked it?
Yeah, I did like it.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to end on standouts. What were the things that you thought were the best about it?
That's a good question. Why don't you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I thought Will Arnett, who voices Batman, also he did in the Lego movie, he's a standout for me. I don't know if there's a funnier, pitch perfect kind of sending up of Batman that exists out there. And you'll know it because his voice shows up before the movie even really starts. And there's kind of a lampooning of studio logos and stuff. I just loved him throughout the whole movie. He was very funny. I loved the incorporating of... It still felt like a kid was playing with the universe in a lot of ways. Like, I'll give you an example. Barbara Gordon, who's going to be the new chief of police, she went to Harvard for police, which is something a kid would think up, if they were talking about they're really good at being a cop, So it still had that kind of fun, this is a kid's world, but it had a lot of nods to adult things, a little bit of a deeper meaning running through. So yeah, my favorite thing was probably Will Arnett, the voice of Batman. But as a whole, like I said, I really liked it.
So speaking of it being a kid movie, I thought it was kind of funny that anytime a character would be shooting, there'd be a doo, doo, doo,
yeah.
like a little kid voice was making the sound of the shooting, which was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny when, again, Batman was doing his own theme song. That was
yes,
hilarious.
He is he likes to rap and drop beats and stuff the whole time, so... Yeah, very, very funny. Okay, well, anything else you want to mention before we close it up?
No, that's about it.
Okay, well, we would definitely recommend this one. It's good for the whole family. And again, a shout out to the Roxy for making it so cheap. But you can see it at any of your local theaters, whether you're listening to this in Idaho, where we're at, or obviously California, anywhere else. It's wide in the U.S. Starting today when this will go out. And it's expected to be the #1 movie of the weekend. I think it will make a ton of money because... it is such a movie that adults and kids can enjoy. Anyway, this is Cody Ririe with guest Elizabeth Ririe, and we're signing out.